Hello, and welcome back to Accessibility Unlocked. Images are everywhere, from social media to news sites, even our daily emails. But what about people who can't perceive these images? Well, there needs to be an alternative way to present this information. So today, we're going to dive in to the world of images and alternative text, what it is, why it's important, and how to use it effectively. Let's get started. You may have already heard of alt text, short for alternative text, sometimes also called alt tags, but they all mean the same thing. Essentially, it's a text description that provides an alternative way for describing what the image is about. Alt text for your images is particularly vital for blind and low vision users who can't see these images. But it's also useful for individuals who can't process visual information because of certain cognitive disabilities. It's also helpful for people who prefer text-only browsers, or even in situations with slow internet speed where images are just not loading fast enough. Without alt text, these users miss out on vital information that's conveyed through images to sighted users, and this could negatively impact their experience and understanding of the content on your website. Visually impaired users often use software called a screen reader to interact with websites, which announces all contents of the page out loud as they navigate through it using their keyboard.
Link, button, heading level 2 Christmas comes early.
But what happens when it encounters an image?
To get missing image descriptions, open the context menu, unlabeled graphic.
Not very helpful, is it? Now let's see how alt text can change this. Alternative text for images on a website can be added using the alt attribute within the image element in the HTML code.
Monster the cat playing with Christmas lights on the floor, image.
Because we've made sure to include the alt text, screen reader users don't hear the confusing announcement, which could have been quite frustrating. Not only that, they're now able to fully appreciate the details of the image and the value it adds to the blog post. Images are used to convey a variety of different types of information. Sometimes the meaning is explicit, that is, the information is clearly available within the image. This could include images of graphs, flowcharts, or diagrams. Other times, the meaning is more implicit. For example, organizations may use pictures of a diverse group of employees to show their commitment to diversity and inclusion. So, how do we write effective alt text? Simply including alt text that describes what we're seeing in the image in detail is not good enough. Regardless of whether the image is implicit or explicit, it's conveying some sort of meaning to sighted users. And it's important that our alternative text also captures this meaning and provides it to all users. In order to write effective alt text, focus on the context and the intended meaning of the image. Let's take a look at an example.
Man delivering a speech at graduation, image.
Although this technically describes what can be seen in the image, it doesn't convey relevant details and context of the page. The image is used to support the content next to it, which is information about the school's graduation ceremony. Let's see how changing the alt text can change the intended meaning.
Graduates reciting pledge during Chancellor's speech at graduation ceremony, image.
This is clearer and focuses on the details of the image that are relevant to the article. It might be tempting to include several sentences describing all the fine details that are present in the image, but this can quickly become overwhelming, especially for screen reader users. So, it's important to be clear and concise when writing alt text.
Brown boots with laces on sale, image.
Although this is concise, the alt text is way too short and doesn't provide any useful details about the product.
A photo of a model wearing a pair of brown leather boots. Only the model's legs are seen and there are tomatoes lying around the grey concrete floor. The boots have black laces, gold metal buckles and sturdy heels. Image.
This is too long and includes unnecessary details about the model and the background. For screen reader users, overly lengthy alt text can be confusing and frustrating to listen to, especially when it doesn't add any value to their understanding of the content. Note that you also don't need to use image of or photo of in your alt text, as screen readers announce the type of element by default. Including these words will only add unnecessary auditory clutter.
Brown ankle leather boots with gold-plated buckles. Features sturdy white heel and a zip on the side of the boot. Image.
This alt text highlights only the important details. Some images are used to perform specific actions rather than convey information alone. An example is the logo on web pages, commonly used to redirect users to the home page. Rather than describing the image as UserVision logo, have the alt text say UserVision homepage or go to UserVision homepage to accurately convey what interacting with the image does. Here's another example where only icons are used as buttons. The alt text here is printer, but what does this button actually do? Print this document would be a more descriptive and helpful alternative text describing its actual purpose. What about this button? The alt text tells me that it's a magnifying glass, but that's not really what this button does. Search would be a more accurate description. Sometimes images don't have any useful information to convey and are only used to enhance the visual appeal of the page, catch users' attention, or break up the flow of content. These images are called decorative images. As a good rule of thumb, if by hiding the image, the surrounding content on the page doesn't suffer, it could be considered decorative. The stock images used here alongside the heading doesn't add any further meaning to the text and are instead simply used to add visual interest to the page. Hiding these images doesn't affect the article or take any information away from the user. In this case, the alt text is only adding irrelevant extra clutter for screen reader users. Instead, it's more appropriate to mark the image as decorative. This can be done by using the alt attribute within the image tag but leaving it empty. Remember, an empty alt tag is not the same as no alt tag. While empty and no alt tags might seem like they mean the same thing, leaving an image without a description, not including an alt tag within the HTML can result in confusing and unexpected screen reader announcements, such as just the file name or the screen reader announcing image or graphic with no further description. So there you have it. Alt text is a powerful tool. It's quick and easy to implement, and with a little practice, can make a massive difference to your site's accessibility. More than 2 billion people in the world have some sort of visual impairment. That's a lot of people. So it's vital to ensure that any images we put online are accessible and meaningful to everyone, not just sighted users. Thanks for joining us today. See you with more tips next time on Accessibility Unlocked.